It's rude to ask people about their mysterious hand tattoos. It took some time for our schedules to line up, but I was finally able to find a weekend where Craig and I could go camping. He always stays so busy with work and the kids, but it's good to know that we'll be able to spend some time relaxing together in nature. Since our first run, I've managed to go on regular runs with Craig. I mostly do them because it seems like the only time we get to hang out, but the added benefit is that I've seen a lot of improvement in my health.
The more I played this game, the more I realized that he is the Carrie Bradshaw of Maple Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine he's on his bed with his, like, weird Apple computer typing away with his feet up in the air, being like, what would
Carrie laying on your stomach with the legs up behind and, like, crossed.
Yeah,
right?
And he's typing. And, like, what would Carrie Bradshaw say? Something stupid.
And so then I put a scrunchie in my hair and said, where did this Post-it note come from? How dare he dump me by Post-it note? Now I'm going to go out with that famous ballerina guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because Carrie Bradshaw's... she was not looking good towards the end. Did you ever watch Sex and the City now, and you just want to punch everyone but Samantha?
But Samantha's the only one who knows what's going on.
Like, everybody else is like, I don't know what's wrong with them. Brain dead or something?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, God. And then Samantha is the only person I can tolerate. And it's not because she's, like, sexually open. It's because she's not a judgmental bee.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only one where, like, Carrie's like, I'm going out with a bisexual man. How do I know he won't cheat on me? And I'm like, excuse me, bitch? What?
Yeah.
And then Samantha was the only chill one being like, so what? Like, you're so stupid, Carrie.
Yeah. I was able to sift through the attic and find my old camping gear from college. Craig put me in charge of bringing the sleeping bags and the tent while he takes care of the food, so I double-checked to make sure everything is ready to go. Craig should be here any minute now. Amanda's going to be spending this weekend on a school trip to our nation's capital. She hasn't been away from home without me for longer than a day since she was 14. I hope she isn't feeling as nervous about it as I am. Hey, Amanda Panda. Amanda's in the middle of sitting on top of her luggage in order to get it to finally zip.
Hey, Pops.
Ready for your trip?
Once I get this bad boy all zipped up, I'm good to go.
How much did you pack? This seems like a lot for 2 days.
Oh, it's all about my camera equipment. Lenses, tripod, flash, all that.
Are you even going to have time to take pictures?
I'll find a way. I need to get some good shots for my series on national monuments.
Ooh, what's the series about?
It's probably going to be something like The Oppressors. It's one of those internet series where I reimagine Disney princesses as founding fathers. That's awesome!
That's so cool!
Disney princesses as founding fathers. Oh man, I'm imagining it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. Can you imagine like that one painting where they're all signing the Declaration, but it's all Disney princesses?
Yeah, hopefully with less slave owners this time around.
Well, there wouldn't have been slaves in the first place. If
Obviously.
Disney princesses were involved and knew what was going on.
What?
I'm kidding. Nobody likes those. I'm taking portraits of my friends. Oh, what? No, I loved it!
Oh, well, I'm going to be in the woods, out there in nature. You know, roughing it. Just me and Mother Nature. The old Madre de trees. Are you going to be all right on your own?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to have any signal out there. I won't be able to text or call you at all.
Why are you telling... Well, now
No. I think he's nervous about it. Yeah. And he's trying to pass it off on her.
I know, but now he's just putting ideas in her head.
Uh-huh.
It's alright. I'll be able to survive a couple days without constant updates on who just got voted off the International Haunted House Hunters.
Well, I'll miss you. And for the record, Bradley was pushed down a flight of ornate stairs by a ghost. They were really beautiful stairs. Amanda finishes zipping up the big suitcase and lugs it next to the door of her bedroom. She turns around and gives me a big hug.
Yeah. Relax, Dad, Tron. I'm a big kid now. I can take care of myself. Besides, I gotta share a room with Monica Sanders and 2 mom chaperones. The most trouble I could possibly get into is falling asleep with a tub of ice cream on me.
Oh.
She could drown in that ice cream.
She could drown. Oh, well, alright. Don't steal anything, okay?
So my mom, she's Asian, which will come into play. Don't just wait. She was so, worried about everything. She didn't want me to take showers when nobody else is home because she learned that you could drown in a half-inch of water.
Oh, yeah, if you knock yourself out and fall face down.
Yeah, but even then, what?
Yeah.
And then she also didn't want me to sit in the bath while the water was running during a thunderstorm because she was afraid that the water would get hit by lightning and then travel through the pipes and electrocute me. Yeah.
Great.
So, that's my mom. Since you asked nicely, fine. Promise.
I step outside, hauling my bags behind me. Craig's already strapped some camping gear on top of my modest but stylish car. He notices me carrying my equipment and hurries to take it from me.
I should also note my mom has a PhD in economics and she still believed all that stuff. That's how high-strung she is. She's so high-strung that she needs to find a reason for the anxiety that already exists.
So every time you wonder why Mari is so high-strung, now you know.
Now you know. It's because of my mom.
Such a gentleman. I almost had a case of the vapors there.
Never fear. These muscles were made for picking up heavy things and putting them in other places.
Remember, it's your weekend to relax. Take it easy.
I guess. I can't argue with that. Everything good with Amanda?
Yep, on her way to a school trip in Washington, D.C. What about your offspring?
Already at Smashley's for the weekend. I'm ready to get my camp on. What's Smash? Whatever.
That's his ex-wife.
Oh.
I load the rest of my stuff into Craig's car and we get in. Oh no! What's wrong?
I think I left my juicer plugged in. We gotta go back.
AJ, what do you... Stop. Are you worried that someone's gonna break into your house and cold press some carrots?
No, it's just...
Just try to relax, man. Let the juicer float away. Take all of your worries and blend them into pulpy good vibes.
Honestly, that's how I feel every time I leave the house before, any sort of travel.
You know, I heard about a really good tip for people, if you're gonna go on if you're one of those people who always, thinks after they leave the house, oh my god, did I do this? Did I do this? Before you leave, take pictures of all of the things. Take pictures of the stove burners so that, when you're hey, did I turn off the stove burners? You can look at the picture and be yep, they're all off.
That sounds really... I don't know if that's enabling myself, but I'm gonna do it now. And I'll just not tell my therapist about it.
I mean, I think it's okay.
Living on the edge, didn't tell my therapist about it. Woo! Sorry.
I mean, if you're going on a week and a half long trip, I think that's fair, you know?
You know, you're really getting away with something bad when you're I'm gonna do this. And I'm never going to tell my therapist about it. And then next week you tell her everything. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I don't know why you're like this.
Craig takes a deep breath. Do we have anything to listen to?
All I have at my place is a series of CDs that guide you through an intense calisthenic workout.
Through a thorough and intense calisthenics workout.
Do you want to listen to those? Oh my god. Craig is Stacy. I'm just kidding.
And Craig hands me a thick case filled with CDs.
Why are we listening to CDs, first of all?
Because it's probably an older car.
I'm just kidding. Take your pick.
It is a joke.
It is joke. It was formulated to appeal to the millennials.
I thumbed through page after page of kids' sing-along CDs. Oh yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Takes me back.
Keep going.
I get to the end of the case to find, in the very last slot, a blank CD with Craig's handwriting on it. DJ Kegstand's Megamix Volume 1?
Made it just for the trip. I think you'll like it.
I pop the CD into the car stereo, and it's I'm immediately transported to our old dorm room. Hit after hit plays, and soon enough we're both happily scream-singing the lyrics to each song as we fly down the highway. This song was Carl's favorite.
Carl, the third roommate!
You brought that dog home one night, and I couldn't pry you two apart.
So we spent an entire semester fabricating a story about how our foreign exchange student roommate, who had really bad cough that sounded exactly like a dog's bark.
Oh my god! And then we had a room inspection.
That RA was so suspicious of us but could never prove anything.
And Carl was just under a blanket.
Bless that pup's courage under fire.
Man, we did some dumb things back in college. The hours fly by as we belt out tunes in whatever non-existent key our voices register in. Soon enough, we're surrounded by lush trees and spectacular vistas of everything amazing that nature has to offer.
Feels good to be back out here.
Real good. We park our car at the entrance to a familiar trail and load up our gear on our backs. I'm thankful that I've been working on my health over the past couple of weeks. Otherwise, I'd be dreading all the hiking that's about to happen. Craig looks intently at his phone. Everything all right?
Yup. Just had to fire off one last work email.
Craig pockets the phone and we start off on the trail. It's relatively easy, but I know I would have been huffing and puffing at this point if it weren't for all the murder sprints. I look around me and take in the tall trees and animal chirps. Everything okay back there?
There's no reception out here.
Oh yeah, being out in the middle of nowhere will do that. I recognize the look of anxiety on Craig's face.
But what if there's a problem?
You've trained for this. Oh.
I learned my lesson.
Look, Craig, we all know that if you really wanted, you could flex your calf muscles and fly out of here like a rocket ship all the way back to Maple Bay. You're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. This is our weekend. We keep marching down the trail, but it seems like Craig is still worried. After a bit, he stops in his tracks.
I think he was more worried about his kids.
Probably.
Maybe we should go back. We could find another campground that gets good cell phone reception.
Craig, seriously, what's wrong?
I mean, I'm just really nervous. My dad instinct is kicking in, and my mind keeps conjuring up all sorts of worst-case scenarios. What if something happens to the girls? I don't have signal. I would have no way of knowing. That's what I was worried about. Like, never mind. It's just like, what happens?
Well, here's the thing, though.
And his psychic dad powers are going off.
But I guess, like, I get that, but at a certain extent, like, it's a weekend and you gotta live your life, you know?
I know, but if I had things that came out of my vagina, I would be like, oh shit. Like, even if I was having a weekend to myself, I would like to be able to be contacted, like, within reach in case something bad happened.
Yeah, but, I mean, just think back to, like, 20 years ago. People didn't have the option for that no matter what. You know?
True.
And everybody got along.
Sorry! I thought we were done. Sorry.
Craig doesn't say anything. I give him now we don't know why.
Well,
we could have just said something horrible to him and we'll never know.
Well, I'm gonna click forward.
Try to remember why we came out here. The plan was to get away from it all and just focus on ourselves for this little trip. No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods.
Oh no, this is making me nervous.
Craig looks me directly in the eyes.
No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods.
We're gonna have some fun this weekend. Craig and I get back to marching. It's not too long of a hike before we get to the campsite, and we're both glad to see that we're the only people here.
Alright, forest sex. I can't believe you still have this tent.
Found it in my attic and already checked it for holes. It's seen better days, sure, but I think we'll be able to survive. I dump the bag of fabric and poles onto the ground. We unfold the tent in the desired spot. I hand Craig the stakes.
We still know how to do this, right?
Of course we do. We do not. After 20 minutes of struggling like people in a bad infomercial, we somehow managed to build an upright structure that closely resembles what a tent would look like if you asked somebody to draw a picture of one with their eyes shut. I wouldn't put this up against a storm, but I think we'll be able to survive for the night. We set out a couple of chairs and our cooking equipment, admiring our handiwork.
Nice.
Bro, look at us go.
Look upon the kingdom we have built. Upon this rock we shall grill our meats and drink our brews, for we hold dominion over this land.
Verily, and look at our camping chairs, which we're going to sit on.
So, what's next on the Camp Stravaganza docket?
Well, now that we have shelter settled, I think it's time for us to do some exploring. There's a waterfall a little bit up the way that I'm sure we could hike to.
Let's get hiking. Craig and I venture into the woods. We amble along, taking our time to chat and admire the wildlife. Craig reaches out an arm and stops me.
Dude, does that look like what I think it looks like?
I look over at where he's pointing. Oh my god, it does. That tree looks like a butt.
Nice.
I can't get over how detailed it is.
I examine the butt tree further. The contour is perfect. It even has back dimples.
Somebody must have, carved that in.
I thought we were going to have a great time camping, but this makes it even better.
Shut up.
Craig holds back a snicker.
I aspire to take every hike to be as good as this one.
I'm snickering now, too. Let us analyze this tree further. Craig and I share a huge belly laugh at our awful jokes. The best thing about this is that there's no daughters here to tell us our jokes are bad. We high-five. Craig and I hit the trail again. It's been a long time since we've been out here, but everything seems more or less familiar. We point out old landmarks that we remember back from our college days. I think we're getting close now.
Check it out.
There's a clearing up ahead. As we get closer, I can hear water running. Cresting over a hill, Craig and I are greeted by a wide clearing surrounded by trees. In front of us is a beautiful waterfall spilling into a large body of water that runs into a river. Mouths agape at the genuine beauty of the place, we go to investigate. The old waterfall.
It's gorgeous.
Nature is so rad. Peering further, we get an idea of how deep the pool is.
I think we could jump off it like the old days.
Ha! This old dad is happy here on dry land.
Looks like you could climb up right over there.
We didn't even bring swimming trunks.
What are you talking about?
Craig immediately begins taking his clothes off.
Ah!
Yay!
Aww.
Look at Craig's butt. I can't help but sneak a peek. That is a good butt. Craig turns around suddenly. He catches me looking.
I do quite a lot of glute workouts. He squirted!
Ah! I immediately turn away, blushing.
You coming or what?
I don't know why, I find him so cute, and I know you find him so basic, and...
I think he's cute, and, I see that he's an attractive person. I just don't, I love camping. Whatever, you know?
Oh, I don't know, dude. He's already making his way over to the waterfall by the time I finish my sentence. When he realizes I'm not right behind him, he turns around and rolls his eyes.
We lived together for years, and I've seen your ass more times than I can count. It's no big deal. Or is it?
Ooh, should we put on... If the clothes are coming off, then it's someone's birthday. Craig gives me the wolf whistle. I turn and give my booty a good spank.
Ooh, a little weird.
That one's for you, big boy. I take my shirt off and drop it in a pile with Craig's clothes. I put the rest of my clothes on the ground, feeling exposed. Craig and I climb to the top of the waterfall, making sure not to slip on any wet rocks. He reaches the peak before I do and offers me a hand getting up. At the top, we look over the cliff and into the tiny lake. It seems so much higher up from this perspective. Craig has always been a daredevil. He pulled some stunts in college that I'm honestly still shocked he survived. I was always the one standing on the sidelines, watching and hoping I wouldn't be bringing him home on a gurney. Man, this could be dangerous. Craig looks me in the eyes.
Don't think. Just jump.
Craig cannonballs off the waterfall and into the lake, creating a huge splash. I'm worried for a moment before he finally resurfaces out from under the water.
Woo!
He treads water and looks up at me.
You coming or what?
Don't think, just jump. How are you supposed to just not think? I'm pretty sure that's not physically possible. My toes grip the edge of the rock. The water looks so far away. Don't think, just... I run off the edge, trying to do my best cannonball. Somewhere in the middle, it turns into a really graceful belly flop.
Ouch.
I hit the water with a loud slap.
Ah.
Ow! I resurfaced to find Craig giggling.
I rate that belly flop a solid 8 out of 10. Your form was lacking, but your heart was in the right place.
I playfully splash water at Craig.
You sure about that?
I splash him again.
You give me no choice.
Craig splashes me in the face with a huge wave of water.
You've awakened the beast.
He launches another wave of water at me. Don't you put me in a corner here. Don't put a wild animal in the corner. Dunk him. I lunge for Craig and manage to get him in an arm lock. Time for the finishing move. I summon all of my dad's strength to lift Craig out of the water.
Hey!
And I drop him down for the splash. Craig bounces back out of the water.
Nice.
My turn.
Oh no, it seems like Craig was simply allowing me to pick him up and dunk him. He grapples me with his clearly superior muscles and quite literally tosses me across the water. I emerged from the water devastated.
You think I did all those pull-ups just so I could look good with my shirt off? Nah, bro. These arms are cannons. These arm cannons are dad launchers.
Craig does a playful flex for me. Damn. Craig, truce, please. Craig thinks about it.
Yeah, sure.
We shake hands. There is peace. Man, that jump was such an adrenaline rush.
Oh.
Not so scary now, huh?
I'll race you to the top. We run all the way up the slick rocks and cannonball off of the waterfall again. What a rush!
No, now I'm worried because they were running on
They're
top
running! The rocks are wet! Oh god!
There's nobody they can call. Someone breaks their neck. That's the end. Everyone dies. And then, one of us dies, and then the other person's like, it's okay, I'll carry us back. And then, as they're carrying it, they slip and fall. So now they're both fucked up, and they die laying, and they say,
No.
I'm sorry about the phone
You
thing.
can only die if you're taking a bath during a thunderstorm.
Oh, of course.
Mom.
Good form on that one. Want to go again?
You know it. With the same energy we had in our youth, we climb back up to the top of the waterfall. I'm brave enough to try a flip, which I'm sure looks incredibly graceful as I belly flop into the water.
All I feel is fear because I know that they don't have cell phone reception. And if one of them breaks their face on these rocks,
then this would be a really dark game.
I can't help but think it. Phew, man, this is fun. Got one more in you?
I live for danger. It takes us a little more time, but we get to the waterfall and both do our best running jumps into the water below.
No, they could have slipped. They could have slipped as they were running. This is very dangerous. All right, I think that's my limit. We should get back before it gets too dark. Right.
You're right.
We should probably head back.
We go to put our clothes back on and notice that they're soaking wet. Maybe a splash fight wasn't the best idea.
It's okay. We'll get a fire going in no time. We can dry off and get some dinner going.
Sopping wet, we hike back to the camp and unpack everything we need for dinner. Craig pulls out a couple of steaks and some chopped potatoes in tinfoil.
What if they forgot the matches or something?
Oh no, we forgot all our clothes.
You ready for a feast?
Yes. Hey man, take a seat. The Craig train is pulling into the relaxation station and I'm your conductor. Let me cook for you.
Absolutely not. Cooking is the thing that relaxes me the most. I'll take it from here.
Craig cooks now? I remember how his entire sophomore year diet consisted of microwavable mac and cheese, but not microwaved and have trouble believing the thing he just said. At least let me start the fire.
Sure. Let me just grab my matches.
Craig reaches into his backpack. He rummages around in his bag,
Oh God.
pulling things out and checking every pocket. Uh-oh.
Oh.
You're supposed to bring
Hey,
three different ways to light the fire. 3 ways. At least 3. And one of them has to be waterproof. And he did not do it. I know I packed it.
Craig checks another bag and still can't find it. My stomach grumbles, and now I'm more acutely aware of how cold and wet I am. We really need to get a fire started.
Oh no, we're gonna have to get naked and hold each other to stay warm. Oh no.
Oh darn.
How will we fill our empty stomachs?
With
She's even the grossest face. She was like, ew.
I mean, it's protein, I guess.
Craig, I'm so
It's
hungry.
gross.
Do you have anything at all to eat?
Oh. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world.
I don't know.
Gosh, I'm so stupid. Could have sworn I packed it. I'm sorry, dude.
Don't be. We can figure this out. We can start a fire. We're smart guys. I mean, how hard can it be? I've watched plenty of survival programs on TV. If a naked reality TV star can do it, so can we. We'll need some wood. I gesture to the trees around us.
Oh.
There's no shortage of that.
And some tinder.
Oh.
We can make that work.
And then I think some ancient aliens are then supposed to come by and give us advanced technology or renovate our house. Depends on the show. Craig and I gather a variety of wood, bark, and moss until we have all of the materials that could, conceptually, make a passable-looking fire.
Oh.
Just add fire, right?
That's the fun part. The sun is just now setting and a cool breeze rustles the leaves of the trees around us. We have to work quickly.
I've done this in the past and I know I can figure it out. Just give me a second.
Any way I can help?
Give me some moral support. With my spirits, we'll make this fire happen. Well, he's strong enough and has the endurance to be able to make a friction fire.
Yeah.
It's actually one thing you guys can do instead of rubbing your hands together while with the stick is if you make a bow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking, like a bow, like with a string, and then you wrap the string around the stick, and then have like a piece of wood on top, and then you move it back and forth so the string is doing most of the work for you, and you can go faster with less effort.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up. I can't verbally describe it. Go overboard with compliments?
I don't know that we want to go crazy. Here, why don't you save it and we'll just try one. You're really giving that fire the business. You're an amazing, hardworking father with a steady work ethic and everyone loves you. Your daughters think you're a superhero and the neighborhood dads respect you immensely. And also your butt looks great.
Bro, stop! You make me cry!
Aww.
Stop it, bro!
Stop it, bruh! Okay. Whoops. Don't want your tears putting out the fire. Eventually, Craig is miraculously able to get something going. He blows on the embers and gently places the glowing moss into the base of the pit. Soon enough, we have a nice little fire going.
Do you ever wonder if, like, in my apartment, like, someone in the apartment building can hear us through the pipes or something, and they think, like, why is this girl so weird? And they don't know what's happening or why.
I've never heard any of your neighbors.
I know, but I'm always, like, paranoid that some way, somehow, there's, like, a one...
But they can, like, hear through the vent or something?
Yeah, and someone's just always sitting there like, why is she so fucking weird?
Or, like, who are they like, why?
Why are they talking to each other, but, like, silently in darkness? Like, what is she saying? Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why is she talking about Sonic porn for an hour? She's been talking. Who is she talking
about? Sonic porn. Who are they talking to?
Like when we do the Pixel Squirt podcast, usually you're at your house and I'm at mine.
Oh, and
Laura's
see, the
at
thing
her
is
house.
that, like, at my place, you can definitely hear the neighbors.
So basically, your neighbors are hearing you talk about Sonic porn for an hour by yourself to no one.
To no one. Yeah.
For an hour.
For an hour. It's awful. I'm sure they think I'm just fantastic.
They're like, she's doing it again.
Way to go, man. We're regular old outdoorsy fellas.
Hooray for not dying. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you always bring 3 different ways to start a fire when you go camping. And one of them has to be something that's waterproof. So probably some flint. And you should probably bring tinder with you. Maybe some cotton balls. Some lint from the dryer. And, some kindling. Just in case, Just in case. You don't want to be caught outside in the wilderness without a way to... I'm just saying! Alright? Now you know. Now you know. You can have matches. Waterproof matches. Flint. Fire steel. Compression fire. Where you, compress something really fast and it makes a spark. There's a lot of options.
So many options. I take a seat in one of the lawn chairs Craig brought and cozy up to the fire, warming up my hands.
A magnifying glass. Relax, man. Take it easy. Let me handle the dinner. Sometimes you can make ice into a magnifying glass and start a fire that way.
I watch as Craig strokes the fire and sets up a makeshift grill for the steaks. After all that hiking and swimming and fire starting, I was able to relax a bit. With the sound of crickets and the scent of steak filling the air, I actually feel pretty calm.
You know, you can just put the steak right on the coals and it tastes really good.
Mmm.
And it's sanitary.
Well, they don't have coals, though.
No, you make the coals out of the wood you burn.
Oh.
You can just put it right on there.
It seems like it would take too long.
No, it's actually faster.
No, I meant, like, how do you mean make the coals out of wood?
I mean, you just make a big fire, and then once the fire is big enough, you just throw a steak in there.
Okay. No.
I've done it. It's awesome. It tastes great. It makes you feel like, no, you know what's in a fire? It's fire.
I know, but I'm saying, like, why would you put it on top of, like, the dirty logs?
Because the logs are no longer dirty because they're, like, on fire.
But wouldn't then the steak have, like, a bunch of, like, charred, like, wood on it?
Yeah, you want that.
Ugh. Okay.
Stacy's not a real man.
I just don't like dirty things.
It's not dirty, it's sanitary.
Craig expertly sears 2 steaks in a pan he's been heating up on the fire, cracking thyme and crushed ginger over it while basting them both in butter.
Whatever.
I don't think you can do that if you're cooking it on a log.
It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to have it fancy. Just cover it in salt and, fucking thyme and shit. And then throw it in the fire, take it out, and eat it with your hands like a man. I've done it. It was amazing. I'm hungry now thinking about it.
Wow, I didn't know he was actually good at cooking. The fanciest I ever saw him get in college was when he started sprinkling the seasoning packet onto dry ramen and eating it straight up. When did this happen? You used to eat cereal every morning with beer instead of milk.
Ew.
That's so gross.
I grew up, I guess. I think these are just about ready.
Craig puts the steaks onto a paper plate and sets them aside. I start to reach for one, but Craig smacks my
You
hand
have to
away.
let it rest!
Oh.
Dude, let them rest. It'll be more flavorful that way. Nope, that's not why.
I patiently return to my seat, eyeing the steaks longingly from a distance. They smell incredible. Craig prepares a side salad for us in the meantime, sprinkling feta cheese onto freshly chopped greens. He plates it next to a generous pile of roasted potatoes covered in olive oil and rosemary. Once it's all ready, we sit down by the fire and dig in.
Everything tastes okay?
I'm in heaven.
Oh.
That's what I like to hear.
Remember how for an entire semester we would eat burritos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Can they stop talking about food? Shit. I'm just really hungry.
Yeah.
So hard to not go back to that.
Look at you now, man. You have kids, a great job, and now you cook like a vengeful wizard whose arch nemesis is microwavable food. I'm really impressed with how much you've gotten your life together. Craig laughs, but there's no humor in it.
Oh.
I'm glad you think that.
I glance at Craig while he picks at his salad. He really grew out of his baby face, but there's something about his expression that makes him seem so much older than he is. A sense of maturity he didn't have in college. He looks exhausted. I think he's feeling worn out by the perfection of it all. You okay?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. I've known you for long enough to see when you're down.
Oh, man.
I'm tired, bro. I think being out here is making me realize just how drained I feel.
You work really hard, Craig. It can't be easy.
Oh, man.
I have to, for my girls. I volunteer at their school. I cook healthy meals for them. I do everything I can to make sure they're safe and happy. And when they're with their mom, I'm always working overtime so I can support them.
And then you work out a lot so that you can crush anyone who stands in their way?
That, and I don't want to fall into my old habits. I need to set a good example for my girls. Everything I do is for them, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
But it seems like it's bleeding you dry.
If that's what it takes to raise them well, then it's worth it.
Craig, buddy, I know where you're coming from here, but you gotta take care of yourself too.
I do, though. I eat right and exercise and...
That's not what I meant. You're too little butter on too much toast, you know?
What?
You're spreading yourself too thin. Life needs balance. It's great that you care this much about your kids, but you can't neglect your own needs because you're too busy taking care of everyone else's. You matter too.
I know I can't provide for my family, and if I take a step back and look at everything objectively, I know I'm doing right by them.
Oh.
But I can't explain it, man. There's always that voice in the back of my head telling me that I need to do more. It's like it's never enough for me. Every time I try to relax, that voice keeps telling me I don't deserve it. To be honest, I feel guilty about being out here. Okay, Stacy, I know you relate to it. I got it.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even say anything.
I know, but I felt it. It was like, can you not psychically get in my brain? It's very loud. Stop! It's very loud. I don't like it. I don't like it when you psychically call to me. Oh, only for emergencies. We talked about this.
Okay. Craig, you're trying your best and you're doing an amazing job. That's a fact. But even if you weren't, you would still deserve happiness.
Oh.
Do I, though?
Hell yeah, bro. I look at Craig and think about what a good friend and even better father he is. He's compassionate, he's hardworking, he's relentlessly positive, he encourages everyone to be the best version of themselves. He makes me want to be a better person. If you could only see yourself the way I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Craig beams. He gets up and walks over to his supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, I brought dessert.
Oh, are you going to use the campfire to torch the tops of some creme brulee?
Oh.
What?
I know little to nothing about cooking. Craig pulls out marshmallows.
Hey.
Well, you still know how to make s'mores, right?
I think the more important question is, do you know how to make s'mores? As I recall, you used to just completely blacken the marshmallows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I stand by that. It's charred on the outside, but gooey center is preserved. No, incorrect. What you do is you do it high above the fire
No.
and turn it slowly so the outside gets brown, but not black, and the inside is a complete liquid. So that it slides off the stick, you put it in your mouth, it's like...
No.
Or what you can do is do it layer by layer by burning it on purpose, blowing it out. Then you have a caramely outside, take off that layer, put it back on the fire, so you get lots of layers of crispiness.
I like to just put the marshmallow on the stick, stick it into the fire, let it turn into a fireball, blow it out, and then eat it. Because I like it to be crispy, but still be kind of like chewy on the inside. Brutish. Craig throws a marshmallow at me and I catch it in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Pro move.
We used to be able to do that at a great distance against a wind disadvantage. Give me a week of practice and I'll be competitive again. Craig and I sit in the warm glow of the campfire watching embers float up towards the sky. The stars are so much brighter out here.
Yeah.
Mm.
I miss this, Todd.
Me too. We stay here until it gets late, half remembering stories from college. We watch as the fire dies and eventually clamber into the tent. Are we gonna cuddle?
We need to, for warmth, otherwise we'll die, Stacy.
We'll die! We crawl into the tent and I unfurl my sleeping bag.
Wait, where's the other sleeping bag?
Oh! I look around for a second. Oh no, I must have left it at home.
What an accident. I
Oh,
did it by
no.
accident. Oh no, I guess we'll have to cuddle to each other for warmth.
It's all yours, dude. I'm sorry. I'll just curl up over here.
No way. Here.
Craig unzips the sleeping bag and spreads it out so there's enough room for both of us to lay on top of it.
Night, bro.
Good night, bro. I roll over and we face away from each other. Without a blanket, it's really cold. I shiver, and without realizing it, I find myself nestling closer to Craig. I'm sure he won't mind. He turns over and I can feel his breath on my neck. It's hard to focus on anything else. I turn over, trying to get more comfortable. I open my eyes to find Craig's face only a few inches from my own. For once, he looks at peace. His eyes flutter open. His hand finds a place on my waist. I'm not sure who leans in first, but suddenly we're kissing. We look at each other again, my heart racing. Craig.
Oh, man.
I got strong feelings for you, bro. Feelings I can't deny anymore.
This is so cute! Aw, bro, me too. I run my hands through his hair, then down to his chest. Craig brings me closer, wrapping his arms around me. I feel so secure.
Huh?
You know, talking about old times is fun, but I like making new memories with you.
I smile, tracing the lines of his hip with my finger. We kiss again. I'm not worried about us getting cold tonight. Oh!
Dude.
Dude. I'm glad that we still... Aww.
S-rank!
Yeah! I'm glad that we still got a good ending with him, even though we totally fucked up finding the stuffed animal for his kid.
Whatever.
Alright.
I want to see if you had a different outfit or something.
Hey. Oh.
Robert.
Oh.
Wait.
Oops, sorry.
Star. We'll get it next time.
Amanda leans in close to Briar and Hazel, lowering her voice.
Listen, you guys gotta be real with me. If you're downplaying your psychic abilities, I want you to know you can trust me. Heck, even think of me as the third twin.
Amanda, that's a triplet.
You know, Dad, by the time I'm done with these kids, we're gonna be finishing each other's...
What?
You didn't finish your sentence. What are we gonna be finishing? Each other's... sentences!
Yes!
See? Third twin.
I have to go. As the party starts to wind down, blah, 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 blah. This is the Amanda part. Ugh. I take a seat next to Craig as the last guests make their way out of the party.
Bro,
Bro!
this reminds me of the parties we used to throw. Fewer kickstands, of course.
Probably for the best. I don't want to get my hip replaced after doing a party trick goes wrong. After a party trick goes wrong.
We can leave the kickstands in the past. I am, taking this weekend to relax. This party was my first stop out of the express train from Relaxation Station. Next stop is Napville.
Napeville?
Napeville. Napville.
It's Napeville.
I was gonna say Naperville. I don't know.
Oh.
Napville.
Pull into the Todd Concourse. I'd like to book a ticket to Napville as well.
I might have to meet you halfway eating food directly out of your own stomach town. Wait, directly
Off.
off your own. Out of...
Eating food directly out of your own stomach. Oh, God.
Help me! Oh, God.
Oh, God. It's awful.
But it tastes so good. I keep doing it.
We both giggle, but man, do I just want to pour some chips onto my belly while I hang out in a hammock. Craig, I'm glad you're making time for yourself.
Me too. Stress is a funny thing, dude. I didn't realize how overworked I was until we got away from the city. It's only just as destructive as binge drinking every night and eating burritos off the floor. Whoa.
I guess we need to get out of the city more often then. Craig kicks his legs over the side of the bench and leans onto me, lying down onto my lap. I run my fingers through his hair. You're looking for balance. I admire that.
I'm trying not to feel guilty about doing things for myself. It's a process. It's gonna take me some time to figure it out. I might need your help, bro.
Craig, I'll be your bro to the day I die, and if being your bro means forcing you to take care of yourself, then I'll happily oblige. Craig looks up at me, smiling.
Bro, that means so much to me.
Craig sits up and pulls me into a kiss. Bro. We both laugh.
You and me, we're gonna be alright.
Oh, that ending is so cute.
It is cute.
It's so cute.
It's true love, man. Childhood best friend shit.
Oh, twoo love.
Twoo, it's twoo.
It's twoo love.
Oh,
Aw,
it's Gatorade. I was like,
Gatorade.
what is that?
What the heck is that?
What's going on? Is he okay? I was like, oh, it's
Whoa,
Gatorade.
those are some nice short shorts there.
Yeah, he's keeping it
Oh,
real.
yeah. All right, and that is the end
Love Dream Day!
Thank you so much, everybody. We hope you enjoyed it. Thoughts on the overall game?
I liked it. Solid.
Yeah, I really liked this
Except
game.
for Joseph. What the fuck's your problem, man? What the fuck is up with that? Bye.
Bye!
He's too sad because you wart shamed him. Look how sad he is. You did that.
AJ, come on.
Look at this. He knew. Look what you did to him.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, buddy.
Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry to AJ.
Sorry, AJ.
For what?
Wart shaming.
Yeah, and then we had to look up if you could get warts from dogs, which you cannot because it's a virus specified to a species.
AJ, maybe AJ has magic warts.
No, you don't even know if it's a wart. It could be a sty.
You're the one that suggested it was a wart.
Well, old dogs get warts. They just do because their immune systems are weakened.
He's not old?
You're the one who says it to his face all the time.
She didn't mean it.
Stacey,
you are a spring
You know that
chicken.
you point at AJ and say, he looks so old now.
He does.
And now you're pointing at him and saying it. In third person. At least
Come
you'll
on.
say it to his eyes.
All right,